Good morning and welcome back to Home Renovation Experts. Steve here again on this garden room build. You can see, this is the outside of it, it looks good. So I spent most of the morning humping materials and bits and pieces. So my plasterboard eventually turned up on Tuesday about 7 o'clock. Naughty Wicks, you said between 10:30 and 2 p.m. So that's turned up, so I had to hump that all the way from the front of the house, all the way through the house, all the way up the steps, through the grass, all the way up the steps, up this hill, and then get in here. Door, rock wall installation, 500mm PIR insulation, 12 I think, 50mm, and gutter in and other bits and pieces, a few other bits and pieces in my special little storage area. So yeah, that's that. Also, the steel has now turned up. So it's 160 by 80 box steel, 6mm thick. So that'll be going in a second. And what I'm going to do is get it and put it up there. And I know what you're saying again, you go, Steve, on your time. I know you're a big bloke and all, but you know, can you really handle it? The question is, I've got a theory, and I'm going to see if that theory pans out. So give me a minute, and I'll see how I can get on. I'll let you know. Get steel up on the Jack Jones. So I've got this steel here, which needs to go above here. At the minute, this is taller than the steel, but I need to get up there on my own. How am I going to do it? Watch and learn. And that is how you do that. Always make sure you're confident, make sure you're happy with what you're doing. Take any precautions you need. If you need a second pair of hands, go get them, but it can be done on this. That last bit of video was quite fast. I did it because I made that bit for TikTok as well, so just to kind of cover the bases. I don't want to shoot it twice, to just cover you guys and that, so that'd be cool. You kind of saw what I've done though. So essentially, get it jacked up on these bad boys, which is a bloody brilliant. These are fantastic, I love these things. Screw fixing, it's like 50 quid a pair, well, back in the day it was. Jack it up, just lift it so it's off the wood that was already there. Once that's in place, you can get your steel up there. Sorry, get the steel up there first on your Todd. Get a second pair of hands if you need it. Once it's up there, jack it up, lift it off the wood. Get the wood out any way you need to. I had to chop a tiny little hole over there, so as I kind of lifted it up this way, I can send it through the little hole, which allowed me to drop it this end, and then stick it out there. See, the people on TikTok don't know that bit. See, always pays to follow the main bit of video. Once that's done, just get it in, slide it in place, drop it down, and then just run it back down. This is now fully supported on this steel. Now, the benefits of doing this are, so the client's going to put some desks in here, across this way somewhere, that way. So these walls are 600mm a pop, but one day they might decide, you know what, we quite fancy having like sliding doors here, or bigger doors, or maybe some glass panels either side of wherever they end up getting. They can now, because we can remove a good chunk of this wall down to about sort of 300mm, open this up a bit more, and the steel will take the weight. Beautiful. You know, the wooden lintel, depending on the weight and the sort of the span and stuff like that, you can do it, but you're guaranteed there's going to be no problems with this steel. You know, for the size of it is, for what we're supporting and what's going to be underneath it. A bellissimo. Right, so that's that bit done. I didn't pull my back at all. Slight twinge, he's lying. But that's it good. So what I'll do now is, I'll now cut another piece of wood. So there'll be a bit of wood that sits on this tiny return, which covers this, and then it all gets screwed together, belt with a brace, and I'll show you all that as well. So right, I'm going to do that now, I think. So now I've got these still up and in place. What do I do now? Well, the first thing I've done is, this bit of wood I'm using is kind of bowed a bit, so I'm using these Irwin jacks just to kind of quick grip it into place, which is beautiful. What I'm doing is, I will get some special screws that go through the wood and straight into the steel. I did have some in the van, but you know what? I can't bloody find them. They have disappeared. So I'll buy some new ones. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is grab my 250mm Tech screws, like these ones, like I prepared earlier. I will basically send a few up in here, straight into that top joist. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I just send that straight through now, it would literally stop there, dead, right? It wouldn't go any further in. So what I'm doing is, if you're watching the base go in, you'll have seen my lovely little tool, which is very nice. And all this does is, I'm going to swap hands because I am right-handed, so this will be slightly cack-handed for me. We'll swap over like that. Here's what I prepared earlier. You can see there's a little hole. there it is in place. So make sure I kind of align this to where the actual top of it's going to be, because otherwise it's going to miss and that'll be a pain in the bum. I will then get it going. There you go. That is that now done. I'll pick that crap out of there, which always takes a minute. Nice deep bit, so this will now recess probably up to about sort of there-ish, which as you can see, pretty much the entire thread into that top. So what I'm going to do is cut another bit of 4x2 to bridge from there to there, get it screwed into place, get it screwed into place over there as well. Another one up this end as well, and then what I'll end up doing is firing a few like 90mm nails through at an angle just to help pin this in place. Once that is done and that is nice and secured, I'm then in a position where I will then go out and get my steel screws, which will go, like I say, straight through this bit of wood, which will be secured to all of this, and then hold that piece of steel in place as well. So it'll all be pinned in, all holding everything else together, so that's where you're going to get your strength and your structure from, which is beautiful. So right, I'm going to do that for a minute, and then once I've done that and I'm happy, I will then probably start some insulation. So stay tuned. Right, you can see, put a couple of those in now, so that's nice and secured. What I've also done is put these little joist hangers in, so 2 screws either side into the wood. Once I get my little steel screws, I then screw through those as well, 1 in each one. Happy days. One through, loads through this into the steel. That is it, all perfectly secured. I've also secured the walls from the outside leading into this wall. This is now through like a mother trucker to keep it all there. And happy days. Now the other thing that really helps keep the roof on, apart from all of that, is wood in here now. Okay, so get a bit where I can get the front. Look at the front. So basically, it's going to sit on here, just behind. So that'll get screwed in here, and then I'll nail it through the top. There. That'll keep all this. What it also does is close up this gap, right? Which is very nice because it gets plasterboard and all that kind of stuff, which is very, very pretty. So I am going to see what kind of offcuts of wood. That's wheels keep the offcuts of wood. They come in handy for bits and pieces. I'm going to see what I've got kicking around. But first, very important. What is the time? What is the time? 1:30. I've not started for a sandwich yet. Slacking. So I'll finish this cup of tea, grab a quick sandwich, and I'll see what bits of offcuts of wood I've got and whack them in those spaces. And there you go. You can now see all closed off beautifully. Lovely, 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 lovely. Absolutely spot on. So like I say, 250mm tech screws straight up into it, then fired the nail gun in that angle and then that angle, so it all secures. So obviously this roof can never go anywhere without taking the walls with it, which it never will. Like I said, I've got to finish off putting the security on the front once I kind of get the steel screws, but that is kind of the roof kind of in and secure. So where I've had the noggins, bits and pieces, you've got these holes here. Do not fear, my friend, these will be filled up with rock wool insulation before I then plasterboard it. And obviously once that's been done, it will then be vapor barreled as well. So there's a few exciting things that could potentially be happening in this one. It's from my mate Kate, who is an interior designer, part of our B&I group. So if you're into B&I, come along, Sonning, golf course, that's all we do it. So if you're interested, hit me up. But we might put underfloor heating in here, followed by, you can just see them poking out, got some limestone slabs just there. So we may tile this, and with underfloor heating, very nice. The other thing we're now talking about is potentially having floating desks. So as opposed to like having to have the returns, obviously with the legs to the floor, to keep the desk like off the floor, we're talking about potentially doing that, which would be quite exciting. So I know this may or may not happen, but it's exciting. This is part of what I sell. Like, it's the whole thing about it's bespoke, so you get the price for building it, but then if you want to add on bits and pieces, and as we discuss and we work through it together, I've got ideas, she's got ideas, and between us you kind of come up with these different things. You kind of go, cool. So my theory is, if we do this one, I will basically get similar size threads to what I've got supporting the whole building, not like M24s, a bit less than that. I will triple up some of these like internal studs, create a nice sort of base, secure those coming out of the wall, so however deep the desk is going to be. I will then use, we've got some 3x4 which we ordered to make the desks from, so I can use that as the framework that I'll embody on top of these, these threads, and then we just apply it, do whatever, and then finish it wherever she wants. We can have one desk there and one desk over there. The other thing we're talking about, so there's going to be a TV on this wall. So you're going to have some IKEA units, a base unit, TV. We're talking about making a TV frameless. So basically it's going to be hidden in the wall. So whatever the aperture of the TV is, with the dimensions coming out of the support bracket for it, whatever that's going to be. So I don't know, 40, 50, 60 mil, depending on the TV and the bracket. building the rest of the wall out so that literally as you look at it, the TV is just flush with the wall, flush with the plaster. Very nice. So that is a plan as well. So she's mulling it over. We've ordered the doors, so the doors are going to be here in 2.5 weeks, which is fantastic, because my plaster was booked in just after that. Andesite grey, of course. So yes, it's all good, it's all coming on. I like these little discussions. It's part of the fun for me that no two buildings are the same. They're not the same anyway, regardless, but in the finishing bits and pieces you could put in them, the sky is the limit. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start cutting some insulation, get that in here, cleaning out the stuff I don't need. I don't need woodworking stuff at a second, so tidy up my workspace and give me space to do that. So here we go. Righty dokie, that is the end of the day, and I am happy to say I have insulation in the roof. Not all of it, but a whack of it, which isn't too bad. So tomorrow I'll do a bit more in depth about how I cut and stuff. I mean, you've already seen that and like when I've done the floor, but I'll go over it again because I need some content, right? But all I do is cut it aside, put some nails in at 45-degree angles, just to kind of keep it all pinned in place. Some of them go up a bit tight, so they're kind of almost self-wedged, but I still put the nails in just because, again, I've engineered, which we like. So tomorrow I will get these screws, put those in, finish off the insulation in the roof, both those end bits, and obviously these little dinky bits across here. Then it'll be concentrated on the walls, which will actually be slightly easier because obviously they're only 50mm compared to 100, so it just makes it a bit easier to cut, makes it a bit easier to do really. So yeah, very, very happy. I might need to sneeze in a minute because it's quite dusty here, and yes, I did wear a face mask. Right, that is it, I'm done. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, hit subscribe, hit like, do over to some other channels like Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. I'm all of those. So the content is sometimes different depending on what it is I'm doing. So yeah, if you like what you see, go over and head over and see those things. I'll see you later.